Hello everybody, welcome back to Trucking Tips and Tricks by yours truly. I don't really have much to talk about this episode. Except to give to give you guys just a bit of advice. Today's Trucking Tips and Tricks episode will be mainly about being on the road, being on the interstate, using common sense. Now, if you've ever traveled before, have you ever stopped and think what's going to be at the place that you're going to, like the city that you're going to? Where are the restaurants? What other hotels are there? So on and so forth. Just traveling in general. Could be for business, could be for vacation. And even if you are on a vacation, that's actually a perfect example. Say you're going on a vacation in Florida. Okay, what's the best route to get there? What are you going to use? Are you going to use a GPS? Are you going to use your phone? Are you going to use a map? Now, when a lot of people nowadays think of a map, they automatically go to their phone, and that's fine and dandy, but what if you don't have cell service? What if you're out in the desert and you have no idea where the hell you're going? But I'm going to use Florida for vacation as a good example. Now, you're going from God knows where to Florida, say Tennessee, or no, say Kentucky, like Paducah, Kentucky to Tampa, Florida. Okay, so let's use some of the previous lessons. Let's use my last lesson, the 4 P's. Planning. I gotta think about it now. Plan. Plan, prepare, pre-trip, post-trip. Actually, I could be wrong about the second one, but I honestly can't remember what it was. When you're planning for your trip, what are you going to bring with you? What kind of clothes are you going to wear? What's the weather going to be like? I mean, it's for example, for this example, it's in the middle of June. You're going to Tampa, and then you're going to go to Orlando to like Disney World or something. I don't know. But okay, so what are you going to bring with you? You're going to bring some shorts or some summer clothes, your bathing suit. You're going to go visit the beach, so maybe some sandals or some flip-flops. You're going to bring light clothes, light weather clothes. You're going to bring some sunscreen, you know, so on and so forth. You know, the good stuff. What's the hotel you're going to? Is it going to be like some random Motel 8? Is it going to be is it going to be a decent 5-star hotel or 4-star hotel with, you know, good rooms, good service? What about the surrounding restaurants? Where are you going to eat at? You know, all this stuff needs to happen in your planning stage. As a trucker, you're doing this almost every single day. Planning. Where are you going? Where do you plan on stopping for your 30-minute break within the first 8 hours of being on duty? Do you know the place? Do you know if it has any good restaurants nearby? Do you know if the truck stop you're going to for your break has any good restaurants? Are you fueling there? So on and so forth. Prepare or predict is while you're on the road. Prepare for pretty much anything. And I should probably tell you guys, I do apologize if you guys hear any slurring or mispronunciation of anything. I got a very bad toothache, so you know I should have said this in the very beginning, and it's actually starting to get to me now. So surprisingly enough, this Frappuccino is making it a little better. It's good. Anyways, preparing or predicting. Let's go back to the vacation. The route you're going on. I could tell you right now your route's going to be 24, 75, possibly 285 in Atlanta to go around Atlanta or whatever. Back to 75 through Macon, all the way down to Tampa, basically. As a truck driver, you got to know what interstates you are allowed to be on. You got to know if the path you're on is suitable for trucks. You got to watch out for signs that say truck route or trucks must take a certain interstate around this certain city or whatever. Going back to that vacation though, in Atlanta, if you're a truck driver, you have to take 285 if you're bypassing Atlanta, or if you're going around to Atlanta. You are not allowed to take interstates 75 or 85 through downtown. You can get fined and ticketed and possibly arrested for disobeying, and that is a law. So, you know, got to take 285. But anyways, when you're a truck driver, what are the road conditions going to be like? What's traffic going to be like in the cities that you're going to? Cities like Atlanta or Nashville or Knoxville or New York. I've only been to New York a couple times, and I'll tell you right now that I don't like the traffic there. I've been to LA a few times, and I can tell you right now that I don't like the traffic there. Traffic in general sucks for anybody and everybody. It's not fun to sit in, but traffic could mean pretty much anything at that point. It could mean there's an accident. Could mean that there's construction zones. Or it could mean that there's just an influx of people. Everybody's just slowing down to try to get everybody onto the interstate. It's just clogging the interstates up. I'm going to tell you right now, the interstates were originally made for military and commercial use. For example, for people like me, for people that haul products around the country. The interstates were the intended use for trucks. So you got to think about it. Well, it makes me think, well, why did they allow the public to use these systems? Well, cities got bigger. Cities got bigger and more people need to freaking go to their own places. And I know I said in a previous video, well, maybe the government should just make their own secondary highway systems and only allow truck drivers to use those systems. Truck drivers and military add like 2 or 3 lanes to all these highways, and only allow truck drivers and enforce that like there's no tomorrow. You got to use common sense when you're on the road. That's part of the prepare/predict part of the my truck's not going. There we go. Anyways, you got to use common sense when you're out on the interstate, because even as somebody who drives a car, you got to watch out for all these stupid people. You got to watch out, because there'll be somebody who's going 80 miles an hour on a 55 mile an hour construction zone, and you know, the exit is just right there, and they will do anything to get to that exit. Even cut you off, even cause a fucking accident. They do that all the time to truck drivers. I can tell you right now, that's happened to me so many times. Car's too much in a hurry, the exit's right there, and he can't wait 5 seconds right behind me to get to that exit. He has to get past me because, oh, I'm a slow truck driver. I'm driving a slow vehicle. This is why I am 100% for governing all vehicles, or placing some kind of device that you cannot disable at all into every single vehicle that can sense the speed limit and forces the vehicle to go that speed limit. Okay? The maximum speed on any interstate is 75 miles an hour, and that's all the way in the central states. On the East Coast, it's 70. On the West Coast, it's around 70 to 60. In California, it's 55 for truck drivers. You do not need to go 80 miles an hour at all. There is no speed limit that has 80 miles an hour on the East Coast or in the Central States or out west. These sensors should detect construction zones and should only allow you to drive the construction zone speed limit. And I'll tell you right now, I go 5 miles an hour over every single speed limit because in most states it's legal. It's still technically legal, but anything over 5 miles is illegal. On a second note, I've never enjoyed being governed at 65 miles an hour. So I hope one of these days somebody takes my idea of the sensors and puts them into a reality, because that would be, it'd be really nice to have, you know, all these you know, sensorized traffic that, you know, can only go so fast. And these same sensors should pick up on yellow lights, red lights, stop signs, yield signs. Well, no, maybe not yield signs, because there could be nobody going, and just to have the sensor slow you down for no reason, that's just a waste of time. But I, for one, am getting sick and tired of seeing all these fucking morons just run red lights just because, oh, the truck driver is going, but the light is turning red. That doesn't give you the right to run the red light. A family of 3 died earlier this week because the dumbass driving ran a stop sign and ran into the oncoming semi that was heading basically like that. There's been way too many accidents involving speed, and it's sad that people just cannot use common sense. It's even worse when you pass a police officer and somebody cuts you off right in front of the police officer, and then the police officer doesn't do anything about it. That's reckless driving. And if the police officer isn't going to do anything about it, what can you do? Well, if you got the guy's license plate number, you can do plenty by calling 911 and reporting the dangerous driver. I've been doing that almost every fucking day now. And it's getting to the point where we're almost all these fucking state police people almost know me by name. It's that bad. The dispatchers, the state police dispatchers should not know me by name at all. And it's a shame that they do know me by name, because there's just so many stupid people out here. There's just so many people that do not know common sense. They do not know common courtesy. They don't know when to slow down. They don't know when to get over. They don't know that it's not okay to cut off a truck driver, that truck drivers cannot slow down like everybody else can. So maybe somebody will make these fucking sensors, or maybe the police or somebody will fucking do something about all these stupid people. So my lesson for you guys today is to use common sense. Don't be that guy that goes 80 miles an hour in a 50-mile-an-hour construction zone. If you see cones on the interstate, flashing lights, and people in yellow reflective, in these yellow reflective vests, slow down. Slow down. Slow down. A cop right in front of me has like 3 people pulled over. Another cop right in front of me has like another 2 people. Ooh. I see all these fucking people complain about, oh, cops that only pull people over for speeding are just looking for some extra money. No, they're not. They're pulling you over because you're going 80 miles an hour in a 55-mile-an-hour construction zone. That's a $2,000 fine, motherfucker. That's $2,000 that you cannot afford. Doing drugs is another no-no. Don't ever do drugs and drive. And drinking, oh, drinking is probably the worst thing that anybody could probably do while driving. Drinking and driving could end up getting you killed. Could end up getting someone else killed, or somebody's family, somebody's child. Or it could be your family. your mom or your dad or your grandparents or your brothers or sisters. And if you're a truck driver caught drunk driving, you get put away for life. It's a shame because whenever anybody else drinks and drive, they only go to jail for like a couple months. But for truck drivers, it's a felony. You get put away for a long time. Some might say that it's not fair. And I honestly agree. It's not fair that four-wheel drivers don't get the same punishment. Is it not just as dangerous as drinking and driving in a fucking semi? I mean, a guy driving a car drunk is just as dangerous as a truck driver drinking and driving. And if anybody else says that, oh no, it's more dangerous for truckers, then you're absolutely wrong. No, it's the same danger. It's not more dangerous for truck drivers. It's the same fucking danger. You're putting yourself into more danger as a car driver. And the same exact danger applies to truck drivers. You can still die in a truck driving incident as a truck driver. I've seen them happen. I've seen the news stories. It's all over the internet. Use common sense. Don't be stupid. As for pre-trip and post-trip, the last two things, that could be applied as to everybody, even as truck drivers and even as just a regular old civilian. Pre-trip, you're checking just the normal things. Checking to see if your tires are good, windshield wipers clean, you got a clean vehicle, so on and so forth. Post-trip, you're checking everything from oil, brakes, lights, so on and so forth. You don't want to be that guy that gets pulled over by a DOT officer, then all of a sudden you're getting inspected because they've noticed that you don't got any brake lights on your trailer. And that's a $200 fine, by the way. You don't want to be that guy that gets pulled over because one of your lights in the front of your truck is out, or one of your clearance lights are out. That's another $100 fine. You don't want to be that guy that gets an inspection because two tires on your driver side drives are flat to the outside tires, or one of your steer tires is flat. You don't want to be that guy that gets into a wreck for that same exact reason, because your tires are flat. Oh, and guess what? Your steer tire popped. And guess what? You can't steer anymore because one of your steer tires is popping, and it's making you impossible to steer. Here's a challenge that you will automatically fail in any kind of vehicle. Try steering with one tire in a car. Just try it. If you think it's that easy, then try doing it while carrying 40,000 pounds behind you. Try steering in a blowout. What you should do in a blowout when one of your steer tires blow out is pray to God you don't hit that goddamn supporting column on the bridge, knocking out the fucking bridge and bringing the fucking bridge down onto you. That being said, when you're in an accident, it's more or less about reflexes than anything. Okay, you've been hit. What you should automatically do is grip the steering wheel as hard as you can and don't let go for any reason. Don't even put your hand on the fucking shifter. What you should do is keep your feet off of everything once, and then casually slow down. If you're not going to hit anything, slow down. Just slow down and come to a complete... If you're in a situation where you've been pushed, at that point, take your hands off the wheel. Yes, take your hands off the wheel and proceed to brake. Take your hands off the wheel for two reasons. One, you're going to need to you're going to want to save your fucking hands. You don't want to break them for any reason whatsoever. You don't want to break your hands, because how are you going to try to fucking steer the goddamn steering wheel when all you're doing is all the freaking time. Get your hands off the steering wheel, and then when you think it's good to get your hands onto the steering wheel again, do it as fast as you can, or as soon as possible. Not as fast as you can, as soon as possible. The second reason why is because the guy who hits you could be either a car or it could be a truck. And if it's a truck, your truck could be tumbling into the ditch. That's why you should take your hands off of the wheel, because you don't want to try to overcorrect yourself, because your truck is already going over. You don't want to overcorrect yourself, because if you overcorrect yourself, you're like, oh shit, and all of a sudden you're flipping over because you overcorrected. No, simply hit the wall, hit the barrier, or go into the ditch, and try to get your hands onto the steering wheel as soon as you safely can. If it's a slightly sloped ditch, stay in the ditch. Do not try to get back onto the shoulder or onto the interstate. Stay in the ditch. Stop as soon as possible. And then, of course, call the police. Make sure everybody's okay. If it was a car that hit you, ask them, hey, are you okay? If it looks like they've hit their head, do not let them get up for any reason. Trust me, head injuries are the worst. And I'm not a medical professional, but you should not ever try to get up when you hit your head. If the guy, or if the person is passed out or looks like the person's passed out, check to see if they're breathing. And you can just do that by placing your fingers underneath the guy's nose and feeling for the air that comes out of it. Or mouth, if their mouth is just wide open like that. But check and see if they're breathing. If they're not breathing, check for a pulse. And you can do that by lowering their sleeve, 2 fingers right under their the palm, right around here, if you could see it, right around here, and see if you can feel a beat. If you cannot feel a beat there, try putting your ear to the person's chest. If you still can't hear or feel the heartbeat, then you're probably going to have to do CPR. If you know how to do CPR, do it. If you don't know, do not attempt. I don't know how to do it, so I'll probably never attempt to do it. So, there's that. If there's somebody there that knows how to do CPR, get them to do CPR. And get them to do it right now, right there. Don't wait for an ambulance, because it could be too late. Call for an ambulance. If it's been just a car that hits a truck driver, or, well, no, not. Call the ambulance if it looks serious, if the accident looks really serious. And could just be a fender bender. I know I was in a fender bender earlier this year. So, you know, we didn't have to call an ambulance. We only had to call a police officer. The lady was ticketed for hitting me. For not yielding to oncoming traffic. And I was inspected and later ticketed for being out of service, or over my hours on whatever day it was. That was a bad day, because that accident made me late for my delivery, and we had to reschedule my fucking delivery. If there's anything else that I should tell you about planning, preparing, or predicting post-trip or pre-trip and post-trip, use fucking common sense. Try to predict when the guy beside you is going to come over. Try to predict that, oh, he's going to cut me off and go to the next exit, so fuck him. Don't be that guy that blocks drivers, because then you're going to be the one that has the ticket and probably arrested for reckless driving. Slow down construction zones, and do your best to try not to get yourself into an accident. Don't be stupid. Or don't be that guy that my dad always says, oh, he just got the Darwin Award. Oh, we all know what my dad means. So, to end this episode off, I hope you guys have been enjoying this little series so far. I don't know when we're going to do another one. Me and Spike will be moving this upcoming Monday. So far the plans have not changed, and I have taken a day off on Monday. Rumor has it that the fucking landlords are trying to move our moving day to Wednesday instead of Monday. But that's just a rumor. I don't know if it's true or not. If it is true, they're probably going to get one nasty phone call from me, because they know I'm a truck driver and they know how hard it is for me to try to get even more days off. So I'm going to I'm going to do my best. We're going to move in on Monday. Spike's dad got us a lot of furniture. We're probably even going to do a tour. We'll talk to Spike about it. And then we gotta call Comcast hopefully today, and then get an appointment to get them to set up our internet, TV, so on and so forth at the apartment. And then I gotta pay Spike's dad like $500 or so for the first couple months of rent, I think. And then we should be fine. Should be fine for the next, hopefully, couple months. And then the next couple of weeks should be swell. We're gonna basically play everything out by ear. And if you saw my update video a couple days ago, then you'll know that we got some things planned, but we don't got really much of anything that's really going to make us cancel anything. We're going to try to keep everything on schedule, even the things that we don't really have ready yet. We're still going to continue Civilization as much as we can, and then we'll basically just I don't know, eventually finish our Civilization session, and then move on to something else, possibly Minecraft. Just really don't know what. So I'm gonna get with Spike when I stop for my break in about 40 or so minutes from now, and hopefully call Comcast and get us a deal or something. I don't know if Spike wants to wait or if he wants to be on the phone with me or whatever. So we'll try to work it out, but I just don't really know what's going to happen at the end of the day. So we'll work something out. As for trucking tips and tricks, I'll try to be back on Tuesday. If not, we'll do another one on next Thursday. Hope you guys enjoy this. If you did, hit the like button, leave a comment, and hit the subscribe button. Also, don't forget to hit that little bell so you know when I upload a video or when I go live here on YouTube. I'm also going to be very active on Twitch whenever I'm home. So don't forget to follow me on Twitch at twitch.tv/OneDeathEater. And we have a brand new way of we have a brand new donation system set up. So if you want to donate to me while I'm streaming, you can by clicking on the link while we're streaming or while I'm streaming. That way you can donate to me. And I think it's streamlabs.com/OneDeathEater is the way you guys will be able to donate to me. So if you want to donate to me during my stream, you can. And even on Twitch, if you want to subscribe to me, you can, even though I have no idea how that works. If you want to send bits to me on Twitch, you can, even though I don't know how that works. It's all more or less a freaking learning experience. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.